Okay, so now it's time to do the intercooler. So what have I done so far? So I've taken off the pipe off the back, taken off the hoses, and yeah, it's gonna be rough probably. Let's try and see. You can see little things like, see, there's a little stone. So it's the stones and stuff like that that pop up that cause all of these. So yeah, let's show you guys a little peek. You can see all that. You want to make sure obviously you're not leaning it on anything when you put it down, because this is raised anyway, so you can't lay it flat on the floor, it shouldn't affect. But things like that, I need to straighten out the fins. You saw the others on the other side. Yeah, it's pretty damaged. I've just taped up all this kind of stuff here. Try to keep all the holes in that closed. You don't want debris and stuff falling in. But what I'll do is once I've cleaned it on the outside, I'm going to clean the inside. Like a,
Hi.
How you doing? You okay? You alright?
You?
Good, yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, once I've cleaned up the inside, sorry, the outside, I'll clean out the inside and show you guys how to flush the intercooler out. And it'll work with like diesels or any particular type, but this is just an Impreza one, STI one, so let's just try and get it as good as we can. Probably with this kind of build up that we've got here, you're probably going to want a machine or something. I'm going to use wire wool, we'll see how good we can get it, and then use a polish afterwards. So try and take off the main debris with the bit of WD-40 there, wipe it down, and then try and polish, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so what have we got, big dogs? We got our wire wool, and it's going to be wire wool and graft, really. Hard graft. I won't do the polish bit yet. I'll do the polish later. Try and get as much as I can off with this WD-40. Well, just with the wire wool, to be honest. You get different sort of like grades of this too, to be fair. I'm just trying to open it up a bit, so. But you can see there's it with sort of no lubrication of sorts. Just glides a little bit easier, but it'll take a bit more off doing it like this. If you have obviously it's going to give you alloy like a brushed finish, so if it didn't have brush finish before, it damn well will after this. So if you're not looking to do that, be careful. Like I said, I'm just trying to knock off the high stuff really. That kind of stuff there. There's a little bit of rust now. This alloy, that wouldn't have rusted, but let's say a bolt or something leaning on it, rust has sort of started just like collecting on the surface, so that'll knock off. See, it's coming up quite nice. This is just like to try and describe. This is the main reason why I didn't clean all the inside of it first and that, because look at the mess I'm going to make. I want to also try and keep the wire wool away from these fins. I don't really want to be trying to get the wire out of there, because this stuff will rust in 2 seconds. When water hits it, it just rusts like crazy. So very smooth to the touch now, opposed from that being rough. You see that pipe's quite bad, so I might show you that as well. But it's just trying to restore it really, and get it as better. Because if we put the new, we're going brand new engine block and everything, thing's going to be a monster. 500 brake plus. What a beast, huh? Closed decked, the whole lot, big dogs. The whole lot. So you can use it as larger. Treat it like a sponge. See, we're already opening up here. I'm gonna flush it anyway, but I don't want to. I don't want to get anything in there if I can't. If it's possible, really. Check all that rubbish. That's not affecting anything to do with the cooling, so don't worry about that. It's just a looks thing. And this is underneath the car, you know, underneath. You can't see this from the top anyway, but just want to do it properly. I think when you do something yourself, right, you always do it. You always go that little bit further. I mean, look at that. It's kind of quite shiny, right? It's only a tiny bit, but if I... This might seem silly, but if I maybe do the top bit, just for you guys, you don't want to see the whole lot, so it's probably just a bit of... Yeah, I'm going to take a long time to go around those angles there, so if I maybe just do this for a start, and just show you how nice we can sort of get it. Now remember, this stage is just to get all this kind of stuff off, right? The polishing stage will hopefully come out a little bit better than this. Well, that's the plan anyway. This now is just to knock off the major corrosion, as you can see. You can see it's quite raised, right? So when you when you lay it down, it doesn't damage those fins. But if you had something underneath it, obviously it would. This stuff you don't want to obviously use on painted surfaces because it is abrasive. But for this, bang on. Now, where it gets like quite greasy and stuff, I'd use a WD-40 because that'll cut through the grease too and get down a bit lower. So maybe around those other inlets and stuff. Oh. I may need to get my Dremel in here just to get that really, you know, just to get in those little nooks and crannies, but it's pretty smooth. Another piece of fresh wire will have a bit more spring to it, so it'll get in there a bit easier. So you go through the wire well quite quickly, so just something to be aware of. Buy quite a lot of it. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing now for the next, I don't know, hour or so. So you don't need to see that, but that's pretty good so far. That's quite a nice finish. Some people might just be happy with that, but like I said, I'm going to polish it and get the rest of it done nice. Okay, so to the WD-40 bit. Swipe it down for you. See what you guys think. Still want to try and be a bit careful not to go near the fins. I know you're going to straighten them later, but the least damage to those fins the better. So I'm trying to keep the cloth away. They're very soft. He says that whilst dragging the cloth across. Oh, that'll come out quite nice, I think. There's some like that kind of discoloration that might not even come out with the polishing, because I think I'm going to do it, well, I don't think I am, I'm going to do it by hand, so. Most people just, to be honest, just straighten out the fins. Just get the cooling, you know, get the cooling flow back. Which, to be honest, all you really need to do. I'm just doing this for the looks and stuff. Just trying to get all the WD-40 and stuff off because I want the polish to do its work. You can try and get off any pretty big debris because that'll make some gouges and stuff when you're polishing. Especially if you machine polish or something. Okay, this bit here has got quite a bit of discoloration. I think it's just because there's residue and stuff coming out of there. So this is the bit that's underneath. I'm not saying don't do it properly, but it doesn't worry me too much. Okay, so where's our liquid polish? So still use this. I might just take a piece of this off though. I don't quite know. I've got a pad and that, but I'm just going to see what I want to use. Oh, that was clever. Yeah, so don't pour it.
Hi.
Like that.
Right,
How you doing? Yes, I'm good, thank you. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, if I'd have known, you couldn't have it when it's dry.
I always forget.
Sorry.
I want to take maybe a 60.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so sorry that I never offered it though, because obviously, yeah.
Don't worry, don't worry. My wife told me about this.
Oh, bless. Do you want to go and get it?
No, I just pick up later.
Okay.
Don't worry, I take it. Thank you. I have a question.
Go ahead.
If I want to buy a... Oh, sorry.
Okay. So let's try that again. You'll see what I mean with regards to this. It doesn't really make much of a change. Now, I'd probably recommend getting a machine attachment if you really want to get into that, but I think that's not going to get any better. You know, without like a machine polish. So that's the worst side. Let's go with something that's maybe looks just a little bit nicer. Let's see how good we can get that to look. See if it makes any difference. Because you can just, you could probably just get away with not doing you could just do the WD-40 and you don't even need this polish, potentially, if you're going to do it my way. So we're going to find out now. And you might, I don't know if this liquid polish, you might want something a little bit more substantial. But let's see if it makes a difference. Ever so slightly, but not really. Nah, there's no real difference. I think you would, yeah, we can guaranteed say that would only be different if you used a machine or something. I mean, that's a little bit of elbow grease, but yeah, there's, in my opinion, there's no difference with that. By you know, with the wire wool, and with regards to the polish. So yeah, I'll just give it a quick once over with the polish to see if I missed anything. We'll see, but it's a pretty pointless procedure, so to be honest, I'm probably gonna stop that. Yeah, we'll leave that for now. I'll think if I get a drill to or whatever, I might, but yeah, could probably do with something that's a bit more abrasive. This is maybe for your finer, more shiny finish, but yeah, so we'll forget that. So now what do? We won't straighten out fins yet. Let me just have a little look around, guys, give it a last little bit of clean. Okay, so we've lost that, so we'll put that back on. Then I might pop to the shops and get some chemicals to clean out the center, and then we go around and straighten out the fins and go from there. Okay, so I went and got another polish. Just try it out, see what happens. Oh, I need to put that, but that's so full of rubbish anyway. Okay, let's see what gives. This could just be a little bit more abrasive, what I need. Yeah, I don't think there's any real reason for me to polish this any further, to be honest. Maybe a little bit. Well, I'll just put a little bit of polish everywhere and then just go around like these bits here, for example. Where have I put everything? Such a mess. See if this does. Oh, do not want to be using this with no gloves, because my hands are quite, I can feel the little bits of like metal and stuff that have gone in, like the little shavings and that. Okay, yeah, so there we go. So that's not correct. Use this. That's definitely going to work better, I think. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's what we want. That is what we want. Yeah, let me do that. So you can see what it looks like now. It's obviously the worst part there. So let me do the rest of the wire wool on that. And then we shall see how it comes out. Okay, so I'm going to straighten out some of these fins. So that's going to be my little flathead and pair of tweezers. To try and show you what I'm going to do here. I'll just show you a couple. The ones that are terrible, you'll see at the end. Like some tear, but don't worry about them. Just let it. Yes, I'm pretty much just going to do that line by line. These ones these are a little bit worse. As you can see, some of these are torn. Try and show an example. Yes, these are badly damaged. So what I'll try and do is I'll just try and straighten them slightly with a screwdriver. And then I'll go in. But they're so damaged, check. They're like torn and stuff. They're flimsy anyway, but I'm just trying to separate them because I think when I grab hold of these bits with the pliers, tweezers, sorry, they'll break. It'll just pull the bits off. But that's sort of, you can see it's just so flimsy. Tweezers are better to use when you just straighten them up, but when you get to these really damaged parts, you need something thin. Like, look at that, that's so damaged, that'll just pull off when I touch it with tweezers. But yeah, that's going to be me for the next, I don't know, a while. Okay. So now I'm going to clean it out so you can use whatever you want. I'm just going to use some white spirits. It doesn't cost that much. You can use engine degreaser or whatever you want, but different intercoolers. Well, you can use different methods, but traditionally the way this sits, well, it sits like this in the car, so most of the oil will be sat in the bottom, but because I've been cleaning it and spinning it, well, you can see the look at all the fins, did all that. Literally the most boring job on planet Earth. I gotta get my tweezers up, I've got to do some more here. But I think, like with regards to me doing this cleaning and stuff, my fingers might touch her, so I'm just going to leave that till a little bit later, and then I'll pick all those up in a sec. But yeah, some of them are like really badly damaged, but at least you can see through it now. Okay, so what you want to do is leave that. Okay. To be honest, I should probably take those gaskets off. That was silly and lazy of me, really. Get these off. Okay. Yeah, that's not going to do any good for those gaskets. Okay, you can see already some of those oils, or hopefully you can see it, some of those oils coming off. Don't worry, this is a lip here, so that's not damaging those fins and stuff that I've just done. Okay, so it's starting to come out the top here now, but we already know. So you can see it coming out this end. See the colour, the discoloration, but just the oils and stuff. Now I reckon if I could, it's gonna be really hard to replicate it, but I could probably plug up those holes, but it'll still leak. It'd be nice to fill it and then let it soak, but to be honest, the bits of oil that don't really bother me in here. It's the debris, like any sand and any bits or anything that's fallen in. That's the stuff that worries me. So ask before it gets to there. So I'm literally going to do that now. I've got two of these, so I'll go through both. I'll use both. Oops, let's get that hole over there. Over there. So the method in the oh, maybe you can see it there actually. See? See it sloshing about? Hopefully you can see it. I just don't want to spill it. Can you see it? Running through? It wasn't bad anyway, but you normally find in these cars, some of them will have a lot of like oil and stuff in there. In theirs. I had a new turbo and stuff, and it wasn't really any issues. The engine just blew up, so I didn't have any like underlying stuff that was putting lots of you know, oil into the intercooler. But this can be a problem for some people. But yeah, I don't think you guys need to see me keep doing that. And then I'll run some deionized water through it afterwards as well. But I'll show you that in a sec. So guys, you did a little touch up. A bit of that polish just to get it looking nice. So I don't know, I think it's come out really, really good, to be honest. Now I just need to be careful because I don't want any rubbish going back into the intercooler now. So now I've got to really leave these holes exposed for now. Let the rest of the methylated spirits, or you know, the cleaning solution, sort of evaporate. You can see it's all clean in there now. But you just want to make sure you haven't got any debris in there. That's what you need to keep it free of, really. But it's come out quite nice, right? Should be coming up nice on camera. There we go. So I'd say, yeah, that's done. Another task completed. Look at all those fins. I did the top ones. But as you can see, like here, I don't know if you can see close enough, but there's some bits where obviously some massive stones did some pretty serious damage. But what you'll find is, I mean, this is what, 12 years old, original with the car, and what you find is there's like when you start to see like some build up, some sort of like scaling of sorts. Some of the fins are so brittle that when you pulled them, they just disintegrated. So yeah, you can see how the side ones are pretty badly damaged, but all in all, you can see through it now. It's going to get airflow, and it should all be good for the new engine when that jumps on and get the tune. And then when I got some extra cash, I can get a bigger and better intercooler. But for now, with regards to, you know, after that engine stuff, this is just going to have to do. And honestly, yeah, it looks really nice. You can do this yourself. Just straighten out these fins is probably the most boring thing on planet Earth to do, and took absolutely ages. Took like maybe a whole day's worth of work to do that. But I hope you guys liked it. Just give you guys your little close up. Well, I don't know, hopefully it's come out and you guys can see it nice. Okay, let's try and see if we can get us some good views on this camera. So that's all, you can see all the fins now, so they should be, we're going to make sure we don't put it on anything. Fins are all straightened up as best as I could. Nice and shiny. I'll try and show you the inlet, because you see me just clean that. I just want to be careful I don't get any debris and stuff in there. So there's a little bit more of the sort of paint thinner, or, well, you know, whatever chemical you choose. I just used like a white spirit. Trying to see if we can get... You can see it there, it still needs to evaporate a bit. Oh, we'll never focus on that one. But yeah, pretty cool, nice and clean. It doesn't matter, you could leave it, like, oil, you could leave with oil residue in there. I was just worried because of all the cleaning and messing around that I did, that I could potentially have got some debris in there. So I just wanted to make sure that was all clean of all of that. But yeah, really, really nice. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Have a go yourself. Definitely give yourself 2 days, because straightening out those fins takes forever. Hope you enjoyed it.